This episode of Grip Tips is brought to you by Lightbulb Grip. We're back. I'm Dave Donaldson. Welcome back to Grip Tips. Today we talk about Cardellini's and Matthellini's. Okay, so let me end the confusion right now. Yes, I already had an episode that was called Episode 6 Cardellini's, but actually that was completely incorrect. In that episode, I was actually holding up a Matthellini and not a Cardellini, and it took Steve Cardellini to basically contact me and call me out on it. What is the big difference between a Matthellini and a Cardellini, and why are we addressing the difference in between the two? Honestly, in functionality, they both act the exact same way, and they both do a really great job at doing it. Now, they both obviously have a different design. Cardellini's version is a stainless steel shaft, where Matthew's version is a chrome-plated steel. Cardellini has a smaller 4-way knob, and Matthew's has a larger 2-way knob. Now, why are we addressing this over something as simple as a name? I couldn't really figure that out, and the only question that I could actually think of to ask Steve, I was like, you know, is there like bad blood between you and Matthew's? And he kind of laughed. He said, no, they pay me residuals, and they've been honorable about the entire thing. But Steve's main concern was that everybody was going to start calling anything that even remotely looked like this a Cardellini, giving it more of a generic term. And to really kind of look at it from Steve's point of view, or at least what I would assume, is that let's pretend that you come up with an invention. Let's say you put it out there into the world, and then 5 other companies come in and they basically make the same thing based off of your idea, and they put it out there into the world, but they're using cheaper materials, they haven't thought about it too much, so like all their stuff ends up breaking out there in the field, giving the Cardellini kind of a bad name for a great invention, even though Steve's design is just like pure quality. So basically, to call any clamp like this, or any clamp that looks like this, a Cardellini, is kind of a bad impression on a great invention. So does that mean that Matthew's kind of falls under the same position as all those other companies? I don't really think so. I think that they did exactly what any honorable company would do. They saw interest inside of a product from an inventor. They went to the inventor, they sat down, did some paperwork, and they've been paying him residuals ever since. I mean, you got to respect a company that does it. How often is it that an inventor comes out with a product only for it to get stolen by a company and then the inventor gets nothing? I mean, case in point, McDonald's. McDonald's is a huge company, but the McDonald's family saw nothing for it. Okay, so now that we had that history lesson, what do we do with them? We can pretty much clamp them to whatever we feel like. Like for instance, if I wanted to mount a light in a particular spot, but the stand that I'm using won't let me, I can take a Cardellini or Matthellini and I can mount it to the wall and then take my light and mount it to the clamp. Another way that I can use this is if I'm trying to mount something to a car, for instance this 2x3 solid flag that I'm using here. Additionally, I can use this to hold a boom operator's microphone for those long interviews, which is something that I've actually seen a lot. Or last but not least, maybe you're trying to hide 4-speed lights on your roommate. Wait till you see what I did to the kitchen.
Mother God.
Blinded by the light.
You mother.
Okay, so the last time I made this episode, somebody actually commented below and said, what do I do if the clamp gets stuck shut? This usually happens for 2 reasons. Either you have over-tightened the clamp, or you are using the very edge of the jaw to clamp to something. Try to avoid using only the edge, but if it's the only option that you have, don't tighten down too hard. The easiest way that I have found for loosening a Cardellini, or in this case a Matthellini, is that when it gets stuck, I take another tool and hit it on the back of the loose jaw. 9 times out of 10, this frees it up. Another question that I got asked was, why would I use this clamp over a Mafer clamp? A Mafer clamp is great, but it doesn't fully shut when it closes all the way. Additionally, it can be hard to mount on a flat surface, like maybe the only thing that I'm trying to grab onto is an art card. That's where the Cardellini design comes into play. In fact, it was because of the Mafer that he invented the Cardellini. And I don't really have it word for word what he said, but basically he was saying that he had a Mafer clamp in his hand, and he was like, I cannot get this thing to shut completely on what I need it to. Like if I try to mount to this edge with a Mafer, I can get pretty close to closing it and securing the clamp, but it's kind of at a weird angle, and honestly, I don't feel like it would stay. Where if I use a Cardellini, I can make a much more solid mount to my surface. Okay, so which one would I choose, the Matthellini or the Cardellini? I mean, I do like the chrome on the shaft, and I do kind of feel like this spins a little better than the Cardellini design, but at the same time, I think that Cardellini's design is smaller, which is better, I think. Maybe for tight spaces. I don't know. I don't really have a preference between the two. I think that both of them do a good job, but if you've got a preference, I'll leave a couple links in the description below if you're looking to purchase. Les sponsors, which is French for sponsors. Lightbulb Grip is a lighting rental house based out of Brooklyn, New York, and they're dedicated to the education and safety on all film sets. If you have any questions about rigging, on-set safety, or even gear that you've seen in today's episode, you can contact them by heading over to their website at www.lightbulbgrip.com. So I haven't given away anything in a while, and I did give away a Matthellini last time. So I'm thinking this time we're gonna give away 1 Cardellini and 1 Matthellini. 1 winner, 2 clamps. All you have to do in order to be entered in to win for that is make sure you're a subscriber to my channel, then repost this video in Facebook or Twitter with the hashtag Grippolini giveaway, and you're automatically entered to win. That's right, Grippolini, we're changing it up a little bit. I've also decided that because I have a Patreon account now and I have a couple of people that are supporting this channel, you guys who are supporting this channel, you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to put a hashtag, you don't have to repost this video, you're automatically entered to win. And I think I'm gonna do that from now on with these giveaways as long as I have that Patreon account. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about as far as Patreon goes and you want to get involved there, I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, as far as the winner is concerned, that'll be announced on July 29th, so make sure that you come back and watch that episode. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Steve Cardellini, I absolutely appreciate you calling me out on that, man. I hope I made you proud here today with what I was trying to accomplish. As for the rest of you, if you liked today's episode, please let me know in the comment section below. You could also follow me on my Twitter right here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time right here on Grip Tips.
Is there a red light blinking on that frickin' speed light on the fridge?
I don't know. I can't see shit.